some cuttings from off where I stay. I have a community garden, and we have some trees around here that I want to propagate because I don't plan to stay in here forever. I want to take some of them with me. I'll show you guys a little bit of the garden in just a minute. This is one of many on the property, and I want to show you guys what, I don't even know what I'm looking at on this thing on camera. Anyway, I want to show you guys some of the trees on the property and then some of the beds of vegetables and things of that nature that may still be up. It is winter time. I'm in Southern California, but you know, we still get a lot of sun. So, all right, I'm about to show y'all in just a second. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is some of the beds that we have, the raised beds that we have on the property. And it goes for years ago, but as of now, I do not. Someone that lives over in this particular area, they actually come out here and they tend to, what you're seeing right now, I should say, and they're turning over the soil, obviously, because they're probably getting ready to start planting some other spring, that's cilantro, clearly see our cilantro. But the trees, I wanted you guys to see the trees. Some of them have fruit, some of them don't. This one looks like an orange tree. As you can see, there's some of the fruit right there. And some of these are already budding with, budding as far as the flowers is concerned. So I'm gonna take a few of these in just a second. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take some of the bark that is a little bit older. I don't want to do the newer ones. And I'll show you the cuttings that I'll get as soon as I'm done. Is I am going to use something like this, and you want to cut at an angle, at a 45-degree angle at the bottom, of course. That's what I'm going to do. You guys can see, hopefully, the glare on my side. So cutting at a 45-degree angle, and then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to scrape around the edge, because around the edge you see some nodes, and you want to keep some of the leaves so it can do the photosynthesis with the sun and get some nutrients so that the roots can start coming in. And another thing I wanted to also point out, I've purchased cuttings before, and a lot of times the cuttings were already dead, and the way I knew that is because on the inside of the stem, it wouldn't be green, it would just be white, and or it would be like a dark color, but you can tell these are alive because it's green. So I'm not sure if that matters or not, but I thought it mattered to me. And none of the cuttings that I had purchased, none of them actually propagated. So yeah. So something like this is like perfect. So I am going to, all these nodes on here are going to be possible roots, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape just a little bit, very, very lightly, and then I'm going to take some of these, obviously take some of these branches and things off, because we want to make sure that we, especially the ones with the flowers coming up on here, we want to take those off because we want to try to make it to where the nutrients is going to go towards the roots and not all the leaves and these berries and these, not berries, but flowers that are on here. So yeah. what this tree is, but I'm guessing it's some type of apple tree. On the inside of the tree, somehow, some way, there's a tomato plant on the inside, and that happens because maybe somebody threw a piece of fruit, or like right now you see on the ground, they pulled up the old tomatoes and stuff right here, and they just threw it down. And a lot of times those seeds, they want to thrive too, they want to survive too. So what they do is they find somehow, some way, and they will survive. Because I've had plants grow within plants, or tomato plants grow within my blueberries, and some other all my pomegranates that I have. I had to pull them out because somehow, some way, a tomato plant got inside, and they will thrive. They will thrive. That's how I have that whole entire bucket of tomatoes that you guys see, or you've probably seen in my prior video, but I'll show it right now. And unfortunately, the compost that I had used in that bucket, those seeds were not dead yet. I didn't let it compost long enough, and those seeds survived. So when I added the compost to that particular bucket, which was just supposed to be for some green onions, ended up being what you see now as this big blooming tomato bush. But anyway, so I'm going to take some cuttings from this particular tree, which, like I said, I'm guessing, and you guys can see it's already flowering, which I'm guessing it's a apple. I'm guessing, but I will use my app that I have that identifies plants, and I will let you guys know in just a minute what it is. So this is perfect. This is beautiful. I'm gonna put this off. Take some of these off. And just keep a few of the leaves. Maybe like 4 leaves. And I'm going to like I said, I'm going to scrape the bottom and do my thumb fizzle. Another one. So again, I have these are not labeled. It's only a few trees that I can look at right now and identify. This one, I'm guessing it might be also some type of apple tree, but the only way we'll know is if I take a couple of the leaves and use the app that I always use to identify the plants to see exactly what type of plant it is. This one here is perfect because it has some of the leaves on here. I'm just going to go ahead and take some of them off, just a few, and then I can use the other leaves to see and identify what they actually are. So we'll do that in just a little bit. Let's go down more. We have a few more, well, more than a few. The noise, you guys. I am outside and I'm really close to a busy street. So again, I believe this tree right here, it looks exactly like the one that I just came from. So it might be the same. Sorry, some of these are coming through the little hole at the bottom. Like the one that I just actually cut. And again, what I'll do is I'll just try to see if I can put it on the identifier. But I'm going to take a few from the top. And this is like real perfect right here. As you can see, I just take that, snip it. And actually, you can actually, with some of these, because these nodes is where you're going to be putting down into the dirt or your water, so it can actually, so I can actually make this into several. So what you want to do is, of course, identify the bottom at an angle, and at the top you just cut it straight across. So yes, this could be one, because you see these, this will go down, this will go down, and this will obviously stay at the top because it's flat. Same thing with here. This is the flat part. I'll do that at the top, and then right here just do an angle, and then right here an angle, then a higher angle, and then we can take, actually some of these are just be more sticks or branches to propagate, because these have a lot of nodes on it, lots of nodes, and those are these bumps that you guys see. That's going to help with the propagating. Okay, so yeah. So let's go down to this other tree and see what's some fruit on it. Now obviously this is a lemon tree, and I have one like right outside my door, which I actually might be getting some clippings from that one too. This tree is fairly new. I would say about maybe less than 10 years old. I know it's about less than 10 years old, because I see a lot of green branches. I see older branches, but I see a lot of green branches too. And as you guys can see, this tree is full of them, which it tells to me that nobody really picks from here. I mean, I pick from the one that's by my house, but I'm going to save a few of the leaves off of this one too, and identify exactly what type of lemon this is, because these are fairly small lemons. So I'm believing that this is some type of dwarf tree. I'm not sure. So again, I'm trying to find some older branches. I don't want to do it with the newer ones. The older ones, I see a few of them up here, and I'm going to grab those. I'm trying to cut from the plants, or from the part of the tree that doesn't have too much fruit, because I don't want to kill the fruit if I don't have to. But unfortunately, a lot of the newer shoots or newer branches are attached to the older ones, so I'm trying to find one that has less fruit on it. This is an older one, as you can see, but it has a lot of the newer plants, or newer stems, branches, I should say. So what I'm gonna do is, obviously I'm gonna propagate this one, and I'm just gonna cut it straight across right here at that part. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the fruit, and I'm just gonna use the fruit. I'm not gonna waste it. I'm just gonna take it and put it in my little container right here. And since I feel so bad, I do feel so bad. I don't like wasting anything. And you know, I learned that from my husband. I just don't like wasting anything. So what I'm gonna do is, since I don't want to waste, I'm going to propagate these. I said I wasn't, but because I feel so bad right now, having to cut these because of the older branch. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the leaves off on here. I'm gonna cut these flowers, potential flowers off at the top, because it's not gonna have enough nutrients anyway. So, and we've had a lot of rain, which is why everything is so really green and lush back here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and propagate this one. Well, both of them. So I already cut that one at a 45-degree angle. And I'm just gonna continue to just get these extra leaves off. And then also, again, leave some on for identification purposes. And then I'll just go ahead and I'll label them. All right, let's move on to the next. One of these trees back here was a pomegranate tree. And I'm guessing it might be this one right here. I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure, but I do remember coming back here and cutting about maybe less than a year ago, and well, not actually cutting, but actually just looking at it and seeing if I wanted to. But I'm not 100% sure. But again, I'm going to leave some leaves so that my plant identifier can let me know what it is. So this one, it is a younger one, but I see it's getting older. So I'm just gonna use this one again, you guys. I can cut this into several of them. There we go, the one at the top. And just gonna leave a few leaves. And then go from there. Because look how it just is trying to survive, right? It's trying to grow more of the branches. So I'm going to cut the top. I'll make that a straight. Let me get it. That, see? And this one I already did at the 45-degree angle. And then I'm going to say bye-bye to those. And I'm just going to leave that on. That little piece right there, and I'll leave it on. All of these down here should turn, these nodes, they should turn into roots, okay? Again, this is like the perfect cutting, and the reason why it's again because of these bumps that will be potential roots, right? So again, I did my 45-degree at the bottom. I'm just going to cut up. Some of these, when I get ready to start rooting them, some of them I'm going to use a rooting powder, and some of them I'm not, because I want to see if the rooting powder actually works well, and or if it just being in a jar is all that it needs, you know. Either way, we're going to figure that out. Avocado, It kind of looks like that one, but it also could be a pomegranate. Again, I don't know, but I'm gonna find out either way. So okay, you guys, so I'm back inside and I went ahead and I identified all of the plants. I do have an identifying app on my phone, and I absolutely love it because, especially when I move on to my land, whatever trees are left in the area, I'm definitely going to try to identify them. If I can't just look at it straight on and identify it myself, I'm going to use the identifier. So I identified all of the plants, and I have trees, I should say. I have 4 trees here, and yeah, I was right with what I saw. Now, I know one of them was a pomegranate tree, but I think I skipped over it, and it's okay. I'll go back and do that. I'll cut some from there, but I'll show you the pile. Each pile is different per glass or per mason jar, and I'll show you exactly which one each is. Now, before I do that, some of them I said I was going to do, well, each one, I'm going to take one from each pile and I'm going to put it into a separate cup. I was either saying I was going to put it in something like this, or even just, just this plastic cup. And I'm going to use the rooting powder. And this is the rooting powder that I'm going to use. It's called Bonton II. It's rooting powder, and it speeds up root development. You can do it with anything. You can do it with house plants. You can do it with trees. You can do it with vegetables. You can do it with berries. It says simply cut, dip, which we're going to do, and we're going to put it in here. Put it in here. And we're going to add water. I'm just going to swish it around. I'm not going to use a whole bunch of rooting powder, since I'm going to put several inside of all 4 inside of one cup. I don't want to use a whole bunch of this. I don't want to do overkill for these. At any rate, let's get started. So get started with identifying all of these plants, okay? So the first one, I'm gonna start from my left. These that I picked right here, these are the orange. These are orange. So this is an orange tree. These are orange branches, and this one you can't tell. Some of you in the plant world and people who propagate and know about a little bit about trees know this was an orange plant. I knew it was an orange plant only because there was some more oranges on the tree. That's how I was able to identify this one, okay? So the next one that I identified with my identifying app, which I knew it was because of the flowers that I saw growing. This one with these buds and on there, as you can see, which I kind of knew, and the flowers, this one is a paradise apple. Okay, so this one is paradise apple, that one is orange, and this one is lemon. And the only reason why I knew that, to make sure and double check, was because there were lemons on the tree. So that one is lemon. And last but not least, which I am super duper excited about, because I grew one about 10 years ago from seed. I grew it from seed, and it obviously didn't make it, but I'll show a picture of that right now. So I grew that from seed, and I was so proud of myself because it was like my first year planting, and I said, I want to try an avocado seed, and I did it, and for whatever reason it didn't survive. I can't remember, but I am obviously excited because this pile right here is avocado. Yes. And then this is the one that I had showed you guys up close. This is the one I'm super duper excited about. And again, This one I'm super duper excited about, not this particular branch, but these cuttings, I should say, is because I want an avocado tree. Now where I moved to, I don't know if they're going to be able to survive, but if I have to keep them out here, that's fine, or keep it in a greenhouse when I move, I have no idea. All I know is that I do want avocado because I love avocado trees. Some of you that have been following me on my planting garden journey, especially within the last year, know that I was trying to propagate, especially the elderberries. I bought elderberries from two different places, and they did not survive. Now, whether that is because those branches were dead and or because I didn't do what I was supposed to do as far as the propagating was concerned, it was very disappointing, but at the same time, you live and you learn, and then you try again. So I'm gonna try again with what I have, and then I'll be back with another video because I will be trying to propagate elderberries, elderberry cuttings, and I'm gonna buy them from a specific place, which always get raving reviews. Actually, two different places that I saw that I'm interested in, and I'll talk about that in a later video. So let's get going with these cuttings, okay? So what I'm gonna do, which you guys have seen me do already, I have my titanium Fiskars cutter, and I already did what I needed to do for the most part by getting off of the longer branches on some of these. And now what I'm going to do, everything smells so good. I'm actually going to make this into two of them because it's long enough for me to do that. So I'm going to cut this one right here, right about here. I'm going to do it right there. That's one, and then I'm going to cut this part at an angle because this is going to be down. Let me do that a little bit more. This is going to be down inside. You can see that cut. This is going to be down inside of the water. Now I'm going to use water this time. Last time I went ahead and I tried to propagate with just the rooting powder, and I just put it into direct potting soil. And none of them, one started to leaf out, and I don't know what happened. It died. It did not root. It did not go anywhere, and I was so upset. I was so upset. Oh my God, I was so upset. And it wasn't because like I spent a whole bunch of money, and you know, that's not the problem. But again, it's just a learning process. It was my first year propagating. So this is going to be my second year, so hopefully I'll do better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly scrape the bottom. I'm going to lightly scrape, just lightly. See how that's just a little bit of that's coming off? And that's where it's going to get nutrients. Well, I wouldn't say nutrients, but it's going to need so that the water can come in. And I'm going to cut down on these nodes a little bit more, because those, as I said, are going to be possible roots. Oh my God, you guys, it smells so good. It smells so good. So this one is here. Let's go ahead and cut this one off, and we'll just leave. Let's see how high that leaf is, and we'll cut that one off too. And then again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna scrape. I'm gonna scrape right at the bottom, very lightly. You don't even have to scrape that hard with these cuttings. Okay, so I got all of them done. Keep them in a shaded area. We are not at freezing anymore as of January 31st. Today is the 17th of February. So a little over 2 weeks of no frost where I'm at, and well, we get a lot of sun. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm in Southern California. So let's do one more thing, and that was using the rooting powder. I took a few of them and put them in this particular jar, or one from each, or a few from each. And now the rooting powder, all you do with the majority of them that I've seen is I'm making sure it's not, you know, all caked up. You take your plant or your cutting, and as you can see, I already did the scraping down at the bottom. So you want to cover that with a coat of the rooting powder. Okay, so I'm gonna stick that in there, and then I'm just gonna get the excess off. And I might only do this with a few of them, because again, if I do this with all of them, this whole entire cup is going to be probably very cloudy. So what I may just end up doing, like I'm doing right now, is just using this particular one as the one to, because I just don't want to I just don't want to kill it by putting too much rooting powder on it. I don't think I scraped this one. Let me scrape the bottom just a little bit. Just a little tiny bit. And then I kept this little branch. I don't think it's going to do much, but I just said I was going to keep it. And I'm going to add the water. So I'm going to add the water. Because honestly, this is my first time doing it this particular way, using the rooting powder and just water. When I used the rooting powder last time, I did exactly what you saw with the first cutting. I did it with all of them. I took this rooting powder, this particular one, and I stuck the bottom of the cutting and, you know, got the excess off, and then I stuck it directly into dirt. And one was trying to make it and survive, but it did not. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take, actually I'm not even going to take them outside. I have my light right here for my grow light and a heating mat. I'm going to sit these on top of the heating mat where the grow light is at, and see how they do down there. And let's hope in another couple of weeks, or maybe even sooner, that some of these get some roots to them, to where I can actually put them in in some potting soil, because that's what it's going to be next. So it's going to be next is I'm going to be putting, after these get some roots, hopefully some of them do. As you can see, when you are doing cuttings, you want to try to do more than a few. You want to do more than a few, because a lot of times most of them do not survive. And so this is it. This is all the cuttings that I did for today. And like I said, this one I did with the rooting powder, and that's it. I only coated one, and the rest they just gonna have to get it from that, because I just didn't want to overdo it. And I will make sure that I keep you guys updated on this particular process. I'm excited. And then also, when I do get some elderberry cuttings again, I am going to make a video on that as well. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. As you guys can see, I am a woman of many talents. And yeah, so if you like what you saw, subscribe, like, rate, comment, give me some suggestions. Tell me if I did something wrong. I want all the feedback. Tell me, and maybe we can have a little chit chat on the comment section. So hit me up, you guys, and make sure you follow me on Instagram at SimplyMiasha, and also follow me on my other Instagram page. It's called Chocolate Lily Farmstead, as you all can see why. No, seriously, guys, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, on both of those pages, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.